so I'll give a brief introduction. I'm going to talk a little bit about the challenges, but I'll go quickly through that, as you guys already know that. We spent a lot of time at Globe, part of the Singtel group, looking globally about what develops and what we can learn from there. Talk about the state in the Philippines of mobile advertising, and then what we do about it. So, how do we take what is a very, very rudimentary concept in the Philippines, mobile advertising, and actually make it a very sophisticated, best practice example of how we get maximum return on investment on our marketing dollars? That's essentially what we're here to do. So, just by way of introduction, I have a foot in both camps. On the marketing side, I run the consumer business of Globe. Globe is the 6th largest advertiser. We have a marketing budget of somewhere between 60 and 70 million US dollars. And I am the executive who has to tell the marketing team, who always wants more marketing dollars every single year. I am the executive who has to constrain them and say they have to get more ROI. I'm also, as that executive, I will be the first person to say I am probably the most dissatisfied, the least satisfied customer of marketing services in the Philippines. I am very, very angry and upset at what my team and the ecosystem is able to deliver. And I'll talk a little bit about the rudimentary nature of where we are today and where we need to go. Most of our time and focus in marketing is spent on the TV commercial and the billboards and the outdoor. And then, oh, by the way, we have some digital advertising we'll do on the side. My experience typically in a campaign, as an executive, you sit down, and in comes the agency, and typically this is the big name agency who does all the TV ads, and they go, here's this great core creative idea, and here's my storyboard for the TV commercial. Here's how it's going to look great on the big screen. We maybe show it in movie cinemas. It would be fantastic. We'll hire some great producer. We'll hire some fancy music score. It'll be fantastic. Then you ask the question, well, how does this integrate to digital? And the agency goes, well, let me introduce you to the digital agency. It's a separate agency. It's not really dealing with us, and they've thought it. And then they come in, and they present their pitch, and it's a slightly different core creative idea and really doesn't have anything to do with the TV commercial. And you end up with this disjointed campaigns, and at best, you end up doing some Facebook advertising, some paid search, maybe a few SMS pushes. That's kind of the state that we're in as a customer for the marketeers in the room. Now, the bad news for me is I'm also the guy responsible for helping guide and shepherd a change in that dynamic. Within Globe, and indeed as carriers and other markets have proved, we have a role to play in helping the ecosystem evolve. That area of our business, the digital advertising area of our business, also sits under me. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the customer that's very, very dissatisfied, and I'll talk as an executive who's responsible for making that customer over there much happier.